Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. Today is Wednesday, and on Wednesdays, I do my Q&A video where I basically answer your questions. Wow. Preparing for this video was actually one of the most challenging videos to prepare for. I was digging through every single one of my long boxes looking for one of the books that I'm going to be showing in this video. Not really. I didn't find it. After searching all my long boxes, I didn't actually find the book. So it was very challenging though. Long boxes are really heavy. So it's just really crazy. You wouldn't believe the disaster that I made. Like this room below the camera, like where you can see on the camera, is just like all covered in comics. It is just a mess. It's just like, so it was fun. It was interesting. It was a challenge for me to go through and try to find these comics. I did try to do my best to find as much stuff to show you guys, to answer your questions, but it was really funny. It was just, yeah, it's a personal joke. It was just so crazy. Oh well. So the very first question, after all that randomness, is from Lone Wolf and Comics. He wrote, here's another, any covers with the HEAP from Airboy Comics, formerly Air Fighters Comics. The HEAP is such an underappreciated character as he inspired DC's Swamp Thing and Marvel's Man-Thing. Jim Steranko on the HEAP. One of the most fantastic and original characters ever created in the history of comics. So, I actually do own one book that has the HEAP in it. It's actually kind of a cool cover, but it doesn't show the HEAP. It's this one. This is Airboy Comics. I'm not even sure what number it is, but it's just a cool Airboy Comics. I bought it because of the cool cover, but it does feature the HEAP inside. So that's my one HEAP comic. Now, the cool thing about the HEAP, I had to actually do a little bit of research. I was trying to learn about the HEAP. He first appeared in Air Fighter Comics number 3. And the story behind the HEAP is he was basically a German war pilot. And he, in the First World War, so like in 1918, and he was flying over Poland and was shot down and landed in the Waso swamp. And basically, he, was so injured that he was basically just lying in the swamp. But something about the swamp kind of healed him, but also took over his body. So he was lying in the swamp for like 24 years in the comic. This is the story. And the swamp basically became part of him, and he became part swamp, and he became the first swamp-like creature. And actually, it was kind of interesting. So what he would do is, because he was kind of plant and man mixed, in order to get air, he would actually have to suck it out of animals and stuff like that. So that was his kind of cool thing. So HEAP is kind of a cool character. They actually republished the HEAP in other comics later, and he was the inspiration for both Swamp Thing and Man-Thing. So kind of cool, very cool. Sadly, I only have one book which has cartoons with the HEAP. Like, should I crack it open? I feel ambitious today. I will actually see if we can find the HEAP inside this comic. This is a very expensive comic, actually, because it is one of those highly sought covers. And I'm going to open it up just to show you. I don't usually open up my comics, so this is a big deal, actually. But figured, hey, why not? Let's see if we can find the HEAP. So this comic... Okay. Somewhere inside here is the HEAP. Oh, yes. We found the HEAP. So this is the HEAP. So that's the HEAP right there. See? So I try. I really try. Oh, actually, like, there's more. It's actually really kind of a cool image that I just saw. Yeah, the HEAP. Isn't that cool? So yeah, so very similar to like Man-Thing, like the way his face is, I think, and Swamp Thing. So very cool, very cool. Learn something new every day. Like I was never brave enough to actually open up this comic. It's actually not bad condition. It's actually a pretty good condition. So that's the HEAP. I'm going to put my comic back. I get paranoid when it's out for too long. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that was interesting. Next question. It comes from Lyle Hobson. Alan, Mary Marvel Victory cover is a great book. Do you have any World War II comic covers that have buy war bonds? I love those. Thank you very much for everything you do. Okay, that's his first question. I was trying to find some war bond covers, and I actually think I have more. I just don't know where they, like, which covers would have war bonds. So generally the war bond covers were from the late, or not late 40s, but 42 to 45, right? And one of the ones that I have that is a kind of a cool war bonds cover, and this is a really cool cover in general, is this is More Fun Comics 104. And it's just Superboy selling war bonds, and it's just such a cool cover. There's some other really great ones, but I just thought this one was great. So this is my war bond cover. This actually is double cool because it's also the first cover appearance of Superboy, so kind of cool in that respect. And the very first thing he does on the cover is sell war bonds, so that's kind of fun. So this is from 1945. So yeah, so that, to answer your question, was my war bonds cover. I think I do have others. I just don't know where they are, so I'd have to look around a bit more even for those. Next question from Lyle is, other than Fiction House Publishing, do you have any comics from independent publishing companies such as Skywald Publishing from 1970 to 1975 and Green Publishing Co., Cosmo Cat, and comic magazines like Quality Comics Publishing, Yanks in Battle #1. I love the covers from these independent comic companies. Thank you. Love your site. Thanks. Awesome video. Okay, so that's his question. I do have like some magazine stuff. So just so you know, for those people that are not familiar with Skywald, they did Psycho and they did Nightmare, which is kind of, they're very cool horror comics. I do have some horror comics, and actually I put them over here. I don't know why I put them out of reach. But the ones I have are like from PDC. So like these are like some of the ones I have, like Terror Tales. I have a lot of these. I have a whole bunch, actually a big stack, but I'll just show you a few. Some more Terror Tales. They had some pretty crazy covers, actually, these Terror Tales, and Weird is another one that was kind of crazy. Really great covers. So these are another sort of independent publisher, one of the smaller ones. Okay, next question comes from James P. Can you show your Lou Fine collection, if you have any? If not, what are some of his covers that you like? Much appreciated. Well, Lou Fine did a whole bunch of cool covers. He did a lot of the like early Planet comics, and he did Fight comics, and he did a lot of interior art, actually, for like Spirit and some of those, and I think he also did police comics as well. But I only have one Lou Fine cover that I can think of, and there might be others in my collection. I just don't know which ones are Lou Fine and which ones aren't. He does have a pretty recognizable style. but I'm not sure which covers that I have would be Lou Fine covers. But I will show you the one Lou Fine cover that I know is a Lou Fine cover, and it's a cool cover. It's Spirit #1. And it's like just a really kind of a cool, him walking out of the grave. It's just kind of a cool cover. And it even says Lou Fine cover. Okay, so Lou Fine, really great artist. Yeah, he's considered to be one of the greats of the Golden Age. His books are generally pretty expensive because they were a lot of the early issues from Fiction House. And I don't have those books. I'd like to have those books, but I don't have them. But I did have Spirit #1. Still a pretty pricey book, actually, strangely enough. The next question comes from Janet Bailey. Show us your Captain Marvel display. So what I'm going to do for this question is actually I'm going to put it up on my Instagram. So I'm going to do like a reel where I show my Captain Marvel collection. It's outside this room, and it's just like a little stand where I have like a little collection. It's not my whole collection of my Captain Marvel, but it has like my Mary Marvels and my Marvel Family 1 and a bunch of the Mr. Mime first appearances and some kind of cool books. So I'll do like a reel on Instagram. So if you, after watching this video, go to my Instagram account, it'll be linked in the description, and you can check out the reel where I will show my Captain Marvel collection, my little display for it. Okay. The next question that he asks, actually, is, where is it? Please show some awesome EC Sci-fi and horror comics in your collection, and some Atlas, pre-Marvel horror and sci-fi comics if you have any. Thanks. Okay. So that's from Gary. Actually, it's Gary Bailey. But okay, so I actually brought a ton of those. Actually, that was part of what I was digging around for. So we'll start with EC Horror, just to keep it simple because I kind of have it in stacks. So this is Haunt of Fear. I've shown this book many times. This is one that was mentioned in Seduction of the Innocent. And it's one that is kind of a cool book because it has this double decapitation cover. And the interior is what was mentioned in the Seduction of the Innocent, and it was actually one of the ones that was in the pictures within the Seduction of the Innocent. And it's the one where they're playing baseball with the body parts. So it's really cool comic. This is just a really great cover as well, and it's by Graham Ingalls. So really great one. And let me just I'll kind of do a lot of these rapid fire because I have a ton. One of my favorite EC covers is this one. This is Tales from the Crypt, #10. And this is Jack Davis cover. Jack Davis. Yeah. Really great cover. And this is my very first EC book. I paid $20 for it. And this is a Vault of Horror, kind of cool book. And we got Haunt of Fear. Does it have a price for it? No, 1952. I was thinking. And then we got Shock Suspense Stories. And Haunt of Fear. This is kind of a cool one. With the casket. And then this is Tales from the Crypt. Guys in the guillotine. Kind of a cool book. And another guillotine one, Tales from the Crypt. This is one that was super hot recently, actually, for some reason. This is Tales from the Crypt, and you can see the axe coming down on the rope holding the guillotine up. That's Tales of the Crypt, #27. And then we got Crime Suspense Stories, Actually, I should have brought my other crime suspense stories, but I didn't. This is the hunting one. It's kind of a funny one. And then I have a really low grade Haunt of Fear. It's like a remainder copy, kind of. And more shock suspense stories. This is kind of a cool one. This one was, I believe this one was actually mentioned in one of the Reader's Digests about, that kind of led to, a lot of the panic around comics. There was a Reader's Digest article about comics. And that was one of the books that was mentioned. And then we got Marvel Tales. So these are the Marvel horror ones. This is Precode horror for Marvel. And then we got, this is where they went to Atomic Age. This is another Marvel tale, Mystery Tales from Marvel. And, oh, Atlas Comics. Those are Atlas, actually. And another Atlas is Uncanny Tales. This is another Precode horror. These recently have gone up a lot. These these Atlas Precode horror really became popular recently. Notice the prices have just gone through the roof. And then we got Weird Science. These are my science fiction ones. Weird Science. And that was number 7. We got Weird Fantasy, or Weird Science Fantasy. Sorry. This is number 23. And then we have number 26. I actually have some of the coded ones. The code ones for EC are actually quite rare because, pretty much EC died pretty much right around when the code came in. This is Weird Science and Fantasy, number 24. And then we got, I got a whole bunch. This is another book that I bought at the same time that I got the other one for 20. This I paid 15. That's how cheap EC books were back in the day. That was a lot of money to me, but I was super happy to get it. That was $15 Canadian too. That's like $10. This is number 20. And then we got Weird Fantasy 17. And then Weird Fantasy 16. This is really kind of a cool cover. And then Weird Science. This is a really great one. I think this is a nice Jack Davis cover, this one. It's kind of a cool cover. Actually, I won a lot of these science fiction ones and one lot on Heritage. They had a really great deal where I think I got like 15 EC comics for about $1,000, which sounds like a lot of money, but it's a pretty good deal actually. So this is one of the ones with the code. So this would be what's considered a Platinum Age comic. Yeah, Platinum Age, Atomic Age comic. Wrong century. This is Jack Davis cover as well. Kind of a cool cover. Yeah, Atomic Age, where they got the big codes. Those are Atomic Age. And then we got Weird Science 21. Another cool cover. I think this is a wood. Yes, this is a wood cover. This is Weird Science number 22. So kind of a cool cover. Nice to get a Wally Wood cover. And I'm going to show 2 more. This is another Wally Wood. This one I show a lot because it's my favorite sci-fi cover. So this is Weird Science 18 or 16. Sorry, 16. And then one more sci-fi. I'll actually take this out of the plastic so you can see a bit better. This is a really kind of a big key issue. This is Weird Fantasy number 18. Kind of a big key. Usually a pretty pricey book. It doesn't look like much. Actually, I'm not a big fan of the cover, but it's got a really cool story. And it's one of those early kind of racial, social justice kind of stories that happens inside. But it was well done. It was a really well done story where there's like these robots that are like trying to apply to be part of the United Federation of Planets or whatever it is. It's like sort of cool, sort of a cool story where, you know, they do kind of a very interesting take on the racial divisions. So very, very cool book, very key book. And that's Weird Fantasy 18, very big book. Kind of a big whale. Okay, next question. So that, hopefully those were interesting. We got from Mike Swintel. Do you own Jungle Comics number 4? I wish I owned Jungle Comics number 4. Where the girl is tied to a rhino. Also related question, do you have any Golden Age Jungle Gym comics? So no and no. So Jungle Comics number 4, I'll describe it. It's kind of like this like rhinoceros, and on the side of the rhinoceros is this girl in red, and she's tied, like literally tied up to the rhinoceros. It's really, and the rhinoceros is charging. It's just really cool cover. It's an early Jumbo Comics cover. So those earlier issues of Jumbo, which are from like the early 40s, like 1940, I think, maybe even like late 30s, are just so hard to get, so hard to find. I'm always looking for them actually, because you know, there's a lot of kind of cool covers. Yeah, so a book that I don't have. And Jungle Gym, I don't have either. I've seen it. I know what it is, but it's another pretty rare comic from the Golden Age. And I don't have. I have Jungle Joe, not Jungle Gym. Okay. Yeah, so sorry. Nothing to show there. Martin Bow wrote, what is your favorite girl in the red dress cover? Okay, so I actually brought a bunch, like just to show what you know, a lot of people probably, what is a girl in a red dress? What does that mean? Well, in the Golden Age, for some weird reason, whenever they would do these kind of bondage covers or women in peril kind of covers, they would show a woman in a red dress. Actually, right behind me, right there, is a woman where she's tied to a wall, bird's about to prey on her, and she's like, you know, that's a woman in peril. She's wearing a red dress. I'm going to show you some other ones that are kind of cool ones that are some of my favorite, maybe in order actually. So this is number 4 of my top 4 women in red in peril covers. Also in bondage, usually in bondage. It's a big key part of women in red. They have to be in bondage. So usually blonde haired too. That's another kind of part to the whole thing. So we got, see, she's in bondage. We got the hero in the background, and we got the Quasimodo kind of like ghoulish guy, you know, ready to do whatever to her. So yeah, this is a Maurice Whitman cover. So really great one. Yeah, I like it. That's number 4 on my list. These are going to fall down. Then we got Planet Comics 41, and I kind of hope this shows well. This is just a really cool cover. I just, you know, even her hair is in bondage, like it's nailed down. It's kind of crazy. And you got this Medusa-like character above her. I just think it's such a great woman in peril, woman in the red dress cover. So this is Planet Comics number 41. And then we got a really great one. And actually, I have like various versions of this one. This is Wings Comics number 54, another Fiction House one. And this is a really great one. You got the woman tied to the plane. There's flames on the plane. You got the hero like shooting down the plane, which is not going to work out well for the girl. You know, you got the crazy Jap in the cockpit. You know, like, yeah, just a really great, crazy woman in peril cover. So this is kind of typifying what the woman in the red dress would be like, like this crazy bondage thing, and just in the most precarious situation you can imagine. So I thought that was a really great one. And my favorite is by Alex Schomburg, and it's this one. This is Wonder Comics number 15. Just love this cover. I just think it's so great. So this is Alex Schomburg, and you got the giant in, or maybe they're shrunken down. I think they're shrunken down, and she's all tied up. She's going to get sliced in half. The heroes in the, like always with Alex Schomburg, the heroes in the background and like just out of range to do anything. And he's got this little, basically a pea shooter. I'm not even sure what that would do against a giant, but she's going to get dissected. I just think it's a really great cover, and it's really well drawn. Just really showcases Alex Schomburg's some of his best art for airbrushed art. So it's really great. I really enjoy this one, and it's also a Zila cover where Alex Schomburg would write his first name backwards, which would spell Zila. So really great for so many reasons. I really like it. It's also the very first appearance of Terra, which is one of the major characters for Wonder Comics. So that was my Women in Peril, and that was my favorite one, the last one. Okay, so that's the woman, the girl in the red dress. That's what they always say, girl in the red dress. It's kind of funny. Next question comes from Matt Blogs. Imagine a time when your house is completely full and you couldn't fit any more comics at all. Would you sell some comics to make space for more? That's choice A. Choice B is stop buying comics. Okay. Choice C, rent a storage unit. Or choice D, move house. So I would choose choice D, which sounds the worst, but because I always want to buy comics. Like, it's just a thing. I buy comics regardless. Like, even when I say, oh, I'm not going to buy any more comics, I still buy comics. So I know that I'm not going to do that. Would I sell my comics? I would sell some. I would sell the ones that I have duplicates of, but that's such a small proportion that it wouldn't really make any dent on the size of my collection. I'd probably buy more with the money that I got from selling them. So that's obviously not going to be it. And would I ever rent a storage unit? So I don't really like the idea of storing my comics off site, if that makes sense. Because I don't like the idea of, like, I've heard so many horror stories about storage units where there's rats or some kind of, water or something. And I just always paranoid that if I put my stuff in a storage unit, they'll get damaged. So it's kind of one of those fears, you're not watching it, so you don't know, there could be bugs, there could be whatever. And I'd just be so paranoid about a storage unit. I'm sure that there's probably really great storage units out there, but I'm just paranoid. So as I said, I'd probably move houses, get a bigger space to work with. Actually, and I'm probably going to be doing that next year. Actually, next weekend, or this weekend, as I'm showing this, I'm going to be going to look for a new house. So I'm actually going to be, one of the requirements when I look for my new house is to get something which has a lot of space for me to grow my comic collection. So kind of funny. I'm looking for a house for my comics, which is kind of funny. So it's very funny that this question was asked, because literally I'm going to be doing exactly that, which is to move houses and buy a bigger space for my comics. Maybe not necessarily a bigger house, but bigger space. Okay, last question, and this one was the one that required me to search. This is the one that that I was so exhausted looking through all the boxes. I literally went through 20 long boxes, and I was like lifting them down, and like, just this question was the one that caused me so much grief, because I really believed I had the book and I couldn't find it. don't know where it is. So I might have to buy this random book that I will be talking about to answer this question. Okay, JR wrote, "Hi, can you show your Marvel big premiere issues? All the issues that were part of the Marvel release schedule. Thank you, JR." Okay, so I thought I had the whole collection of big premiere issues. There's actually kind of two books that I'm missing. One that I thought I had, but I guess I don't have. And I looked everywhere for it. And that which is Captain Marvel #1. So that is a Marvel book, not Captain Marvel Adventures, Captain Marvel #1. Now, all of these books with the big premiere issue all came out in 1968. I don't know. They did a whole bunch of these big premiere issues in 1968. And that one I'm still missing. So I can't find it. So I'm going to have to probably buy it again, which is kind of annoying. But I brought the other ones. Like pretty much the whole collection, except for that one book. There's another one that is not big premiere issue, so I don't count it, which is like something Commandos. But I'm going to show you some. So this is Captain America #100. You'll notice it says big premiere issue. And so I actually was trying to collect all of these, and I thought I had them all, but I guess not. So this is Captain America #100. Oh, yeah, 100. And this is a low grade, but better low grade than no grade. This is Silver Surfer #1, and it's the origin of the Silver Surfer. And Shadlabal, I think is the name of the character, first appearance. Does it say? No. It doesn't say, but it is. And there's the first premiere issue stamp right there. And it's Silver Surfer #1. And then we got Hulk, kind of #1, which is actually 102. This is when they sort of regain, like Hulk basically had a limited series. Well, it was supposed to be an ongoing series, but it just failed after 6 issues. Then Hulk kind of disappeared for a bit and went into Tales to Astonish. And he ran in that for a while. And then they switched Tales to Astonish over in issue 102 to Hulk. So, yeah, that's how we got this one. And it's the big premiere issue. And then we got, these are all from 1968. Next big one, so big year, is Submariner #1. And this is another big premiere issue. Yeah, big premiere issue. So kind of cool. And another big one is Iron Man #1. And you can really see it's like he's kind of doing the splits over the big premiere issue. So Iron Man #1. Not sure if you can really see it. Okay. And last but not least, this is Iron Man and Submariner #1. And this is the special, it actually doesn't say big premiere issue on this one. It says special once in a lifetime issue. But I like this one anyways. I was actually trying to collect the ones with this kind of more like badge-like style. So yeah, kind of cool. So that's my collection of premiere issues. And as I said, there's 2 others that probably could be in the collection. And I just don't have them. So, but maybe in the future you might see them in an unboxing. But that's it for this week. If you have any questions you want to ask me, you can put a comment below with any question you want to ask, and I will do my best. I'll dig through my comics. I'll search whatever you're looking for. I'll see if I have it. And if I have it, I'll show it. If I don't, I'll do my best to give a little bit of information about the book. But thank you for watching, and please like, comment, and subscribe. And check out my Instagram reel, where I will be posting out about Captain Marvel and my little collection outside. So definitely look for that on my Instagram account. And you should subscribe to my Instagram account, because there's always some really cool stuff that I'm putting there. So thanks again for watching. Bye for now.